So at this point, they're basically gliding, and to keep the plane level, they have the passengers go back to their seat.
Fucking baubles!
The Penguin
I'm going to keep calling him that for the rest of the review.
confronts Phillips, and he's none too pleased. After explaining the situation to them on the ground, the Galactica team starts working on a solution. The plane starts to go into a nosedive, so they tell the passengers in the first 2 rows in first class to move to the rear of the plane. This causes Q to go into a panic. Don't know why, he can always just teleport away.
Wait, can Q even be killed in a plane crash?
Maybe the other Qs made him human again.
You're not coming forward.
Is that a fact?
That's a fact.
Calm down. Get a hold of yourself.
Looks like someone figured out the former love affair.
The team figures out how to bypass the hydraulics and control the plane electrically. Adama tells the crew to send some men into the compartment, and they will walk them through it.
Wait, Marshal. That detergent is dangerous stuff.
I know! Just look what it did to my underwear!
They're not going down there with blowtorches.
But I'd still wait for the fumes to clear.
Not heeding the warning, they send men down anyway, and, well...
Fucking baubles!
The explosion causes the plane to go into a nosedive, and due to the lack of oxygen, everyone in the cockpit loses consciousness, so Fairbanks is forced to fly the plane. He tells all the passengers in first class to move to the back of the plane, and with some coaching from the ex-football player, forgot about him, didn't you? The plane levels out.
Get up, you son of a bitch! Mickey loves you.
Dr. Thurman, forgot about him too, didn't you? Tells Billy Crystal, yes, that is Billy Crystal,
I have to admit, in the 70s, he looked marvelous.
that he's worried about the biological he brought aboard getting loose and infecting the passengers.
Well, maybe you shouldn't have shipped it on a plane with 250 people, asshole.
Uh-oh. Barbara Anderson looks a little worse for wear. Bet she wishes she was back on Ironside. Well, time for plan B. They switch fuel from one tank to another to turn the plane on its right course, and then start working on rerouting the ship's water to the hydraulic system to give them 3 minutes of pressure. Dr. Thurman tells them about the biological, and after verifying that the container was broken, tells them that it contained the Senegal flu, which has a death rate of 30%.
30%, is that all? That means out of 250 people, only... Carry the decimal points. Multiplied by... Only people will die.
So some of the passengers start getting sick, and just when they get to Paris and have everything set, they are denied landing because Paris can't get a quarantine containment team set up in time to prevent an outbreak. In fact, no country wants to let them land.
Why they can't just have them land on an abandoned airstrip and have everyone stay on board the plane until DOH arrives is beyond me. I mean, I know the flu is an airborne virus, but it has a short life expectancy outside the body, and you have to be in close proximity to catch it.
There is logic in what he says.
They finally get clearance to land in London thanks to a Great Britain-US treaty, but the doc is worried if they land, they'll spread the virus through London.
You know, I'm starting to think he's not really a doctor, he just spent the night at a Holiday Inn once.
Fairbanks comes up with the idea to fly to Senegal instead of landing in London, but Mike Brady will hear nothing of it.
Our destination is London.
Why don't you find out how the passengers feel? Go on, ask them.
The majority decides to head to Senegal, and they don't make it to the airport. Just about all the extras die in the crash.
You want to play a cool drinking game? Watch the movie again and drink for every person you see wearing a red shirt.
Along with Mr. Phelps and Cobblepot.
About the plane. You tell him.
I'll tell him.
I gotta protect.
Protect. What will I?
My legend.
Wah, wah, wah.
doesn't exactly suck, but isn't really good either.
The problem is, the time it was made, there wasn't too many technical advances in special effects, so a lot of the drama comes from talking and character development, most of which becomes really boring after a while. Trust me when I say I left out a lot of unnecessary character development and characters like Fairbanks' old girlfriend being a stewardess on the plane and this chick's pregnancy issue. All that stuff was necessary in the 70s to fill a 90-minute time slot, but today can be easily replaced with CGI of the flip suddenly stopping, or a more dramatic explosion, or the detergent slowly corroding the pumps. This is a movie you watch when you're completely bored, you've beaten every video game you own, read every book, there's nothing good on TV, and you just can't fall asleep.
In other words, it'd be a really good NBC late-night movie if that still existed. I'm Don Perignon, saving you from getting ripped off.
I knew this was a lost episode of Star Trek TNG.